Let's get started now with some basic applications. I want to look at a self-defense technique that's taught in Kempo and how we can easily integrate the covering block within this technique. And in fact, not only can we integrate it, but based on the nature of this technique, we should. So here's the basic technique. We're dealing with a punch to the face, and we're going to block. We're going to deviate that punch off course. And now here's the principle behind the technique. I'm going to track up the arm to find my target. And that is a principle that is fairly common in the martial arts, and it's one that's taught. It's a major strategy in White Crane. In Kempo, we call it tracking. In White Crane, it's called follow the limbs. So the technique, to finish it up, we block, we track up the arm. There's our first punch. We're going to check the arm down. There's our second punch. We have a double claw to the face, a pillar destruction to drive him down to his knee, and then we're going to turn, and if he's still trying to get up, finish with a spinning reverse crescent kick. Let's change sides. We'll look at that one more time, and then we'll look at the White Crane covering block and how it fits in. So he throws his punch. I block. I'm going to track up that arm and catch him in the face, check it down, catch him with a second punch, claw, take him to his knee, and then finish with our kick. Now, the whole principle behind our covering block is creating a bridge, sticking with our opponent and following them in. And if we look at the principle behind this technique, the strategy we're trying to apply is to use the arm to find our target, to track up the arm to our target. But the reality is it's not that simple, because his punch, he's not going to throw his punch and just leave it there. His punch is going to be withdrawn as quick as it went out. So if I block his punch and now he draws it back, you see, draw it back quicker, I don't have a bridge. Throw the punch and bring it back, I don't have a bridge. But if we use our White Crane covering block, throw the punch, look at that. The second he started drawing his arm back, there was that connection that actually started pulling me in towards him, which becomes more efficient when you're aware of what's going on. So I block, and he's pulling me in now to that punch. So I'm still using the arm to find my target, but I'm doing it in a more perhaps suitable way based on the reality of the circumstance. Again, he throws his punch, there's my covering block. As he pulls back, I can project forward into that first punch, check that arm down, catch him with a second punch, claw, and then finish with the same sequence. If you'd like, there are some other optional strikes that you can insert within this technique that I share with my students. So we have our covering block. I follow him in with the first punch, check down, there's our second punch. From the claw, we can finish with iron thumb strikes, using the thumbs to poke the eye, but also the palm to strike in. And then as we do our pillar destruction here, we can now collapse our elbow into the base of the skull and then finish the technique with our kick. So there you go. There's your first application.